Landslides, with their devastating force and unpredictable nature, have time and again reminded us of the immense power that lies within our natural environment. These catastrophic events, occurring across the globe, have wreaked havoc on communities, claimed countless lives, and left behind a trail of destruction. Here's a look at 10 of the worst landslide disasters. Number 10. Baduda, Uganda. The Baduda landslide refers to a devastating natural disaster that occurred in Baduda district, eastern Uganda, specifically in the villages of Nemetsi, Kubawo, and Namabasa on March 1, 2010. The landslide was triggered by heavy rains, which caused a massive slope failure on the slopes of Mount Elgon. The event resulted in significant destruction, burying homes, schools, and entire villages under a thick layer of mud and debris. The landslide affected an estimated area of about 5 square kilometers. It is reported that more than 350 people lost their lives, with many others injured or missing. The Baduda landslide had a severe impact on the local population, causing the displacement of thousands of people and destroying infrastructure and agricultural land. Number 9. Leyte, Philippines. The Leyte landslide refers to a tragic natural disaster that occurred in the province of Leyte, Philippines, on February 17, 2006. It was triggered by heavy rainfall and occurred in the mountainous region near the town of Ginsogan. The landslide was massive in scale, burying the entire village of Ginsogan and surrounding areas under millions of cubic meters of mud and debris. The event is estimated to have affected an area of about 3 square kilometers. The landslide was particularly devastating due to the speed and force with which it occurred. The exact number of casualties is uncertain, but it is estimated that approximately 1,200 people lost their lives in the disaster. The majority of the victims were schoolchildren and teachers who were in the local school when the landslide struck. Numerous homes, buildings, and infrastructure were destroyed, and the area was left in a state of devastation. Number 8. Naga City, Philippines. The Naga City landslide refers to a devastating natural disaster that occurred in Naga City, Cebu, Philippines, on September 20, 2018. The landslide was triggered by heavy rainfall, which caused a portion of a mountainside to collapse. The landslide primarily affected the residential area of Sitio Singalan in Barangay Tanan. The collapse of the mountainside resulted in a massive flow of soil, rocks, and debris that buried houses and structures in its path. The event happened with little warning, catching residents off guard. Number 7. Adiput Province, Laos. The Adiput Province landslide refers to a catastrophic event that occurred in southeastern Laos, specifically in the Sanamksay district of Adiput Province, on July 23, 2018. The disaster was caused by the collapse of the Sapien Senamnoy Dam, which resulted in massive flooding and subsequent landslides. Heavy rainfall led to the dam's failure, releasing an enormous volume of water that overwhelmed the surrounding areas. The sudden surge of water triggered landslides in the affected region, including the villages of Ban Mai and Ban Hin Lath. These landslides buried numerous houses, infrastructure, and agricultural land under mud and debris. The Adiput Province landslide had a devastating impact on the local population. It is estimated that over 40 people lost their lives, with hundreds more reported missing. Thousands of people were displaced from their homes, and the infrastructure in the affected area suffered extensive damage. Number 6. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil has experienced several devastating landslides due to its mountainous terrain and heavy rainfall. One of the most significant landslides in recent history occurred in January 2011, affecting various neighborhoods in the mountainous region surrounding Rio de Janeiro. The landslide was triggered by intense and prolonged rainfall, causing slopes to become unstable and leading to mass movements of soil, rocks, and debris. The affected areas included communities in the cities of Nova Friburgo, Teresópolis, Petrópolis, and others in the state of Rio de Janeiro. The event resulted in widespread destruction, with numerous homes, buildings, and infrastructure being buried or swept away by the landslides. The death toll from the disaster was tragically high, with over 900 people losing their lives and many more injured or missing. Number 5. Mocoa, Colombia. The Mocoa landslide refers to a devastating natural disaster that occurred in Mocoa, a city in the Putumayo department of Colombia, on the night of March 31, 2017. The disaster was triggered by intense rainfall that caused the Mocoa, Mulato, and Sancoyaco rivers to overflow and generate flash floods, landslides, and mud flows. The landslide struck the city of Mocoa with little warning, catching residents off guard as they slept. The massive flow of mud, rocks, and debris engulfed neighborhoods, destroying homes, buildings, and infrastructure in its path. The force of the landslide was immense, causing significant loss of life and widespread devastation. Number 4. Jochu County, China. The Jochu County landslide, also known as the Jochu mudslide or the Jochu debris flow, occurred on August 8, 2010, in Jochu County, Gannan Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture, Gansu Province, China. It was one of the deadliest landslides in recent history. The landslide was triggered by heavy rainfall, causing massive amounts of soil, rocks, and debris to become destabilized and flowed down the slopes. The rushing debris overwhelmed the Bailong River, blocking its flow and creating a temporary barrier lake. The landslide devastated the town of Jochu, burying buildings and homes under meters of mud and debris. The destruction was extensive, and thousands of people were displaced from their homes. Number 3. Salgar, Colombia. The Salgar landslide occurred on May 18, 2015, in the municipality of Salgar, located in the Antioquia department of Colombia. It was a devastating natural disaster that resulted in significant loss of life and widespread destruction. The landslide was triggered by heavy rainfall, causing a massive flow of mud, rocks, and debris to cascade down the hillsides. The sudden and forceful movement of the landslide overwhelmed several neighborhoods and rural areas in Salgar, burying homes and infrastructure under meters of mud. The impact of the Salgar landslide was severe, with over 90 people losing their lives and many more injured or missing. The disaster also caused extensive damage to houses, roads, bridges, and agricultural land in the affected region. Number 2. Niteroi, Brazil. One of the most devastating landslides in Brazil occurred in Niteroi, a city located in the state of Rio de Janeiro, on January 11, 2010. The landslide, commonly known as the Niteroi landslide or the Morro do Bumba landslide, resulted in significant loss of life and widespread destruction. The landslide was triggered by heavy rainfall that saturated the soil on the slopes of Morro do Bumba, a hillside neighborhood in Niteroi. The unstable ground gave way, causing a massive flow of mud, rocks, and debris to cascade down the hillside. The impact of the Niteroi landslide was devastating. Numerous homes and buildings were buried or destroyed, with estimates ranging from 40 to 50 structures affected. Tragically, over 200 people lost their lives in the disaster, making it one of the deadliest landslides in Brazilian history. Number 1. Sindupalchowk, Nepal. Sindupalchowk, a district in Nepal, has experienced several devastating landslides in recent years, including a significant one that occurred on August 2, 2014. The landslide in Sindupalchowk was a result of heavy rainfall combined with the seismic activity of the April 2015 earthquake in Nepal. The landslide triggered by the earthquake and rainfall caused a massive flow of soil, rocks, and debris to cascade down the slopes, burying entire villages and infrastructure.